Dear student, today we will read characters or character analysis of the story A Cup of Tea by Catherine Mansfield. First, we will read the character of Rosemary Fell, or we can say that this character works out the theme of womanly jealousy. So, both the questions are clarified by this video. Either the character of Rosemary fell or the theme of women's jealousy in Cup of Tea. A Rosemary fell. A socially poised, rich, married woman with a devoted and loving husband who has a great lifestyle. The principal character in the story is Rosemary Fell, who is whimsical but she has got a sympathetic heart. She has got a sort of mania to pick up such strange things or persons who could appeal to her whimsical choice. One day, when she came out of the antique shop in the Curzon Street and was thinking one ought to go home and have an extra special tea, a poor but good looking girl with large eyes asked her for the price of a cup of tea. Rosemary looked at her, and for a moment she was enticed and exclaimed, "How extraordinary!" In that flux of imagination, a crazy notion entered into her mind to play fairy godmother to the poor girl. She persuaded the poor girl to go home with her to her house. The girl felt bewildered, and her hunger made her give in to the good lady's entice. At home, Rosemary feels enthusiastic to prove herself most sympathetic to the girl. She takes her into her bedroom, makes her comfortable, and gets her tea and good food. All these treatments display Rosemary to be genuinely sympathetic to her. But it is not so. If we consider her feelings while she was ruminating about her adventure before coming home, we may think that there is something artificially there is some artificiality in her thought, because she thinks about her boast among her friends and to present herself as a godmother. It seems doubtful if she could be genuine and sincere in showing her sympathy for the poor girl. Her real character soon comes to surface when her husband arrives. At first, she shows great enthusiasm about the girl and entreats him to be nice to her. But no sooner does her husband say, "So astonishingly pretty," and She is absolutely lovely, and comments, I was bowled over when I came into your room just now. Then she loses all her sympathy and affection for the girl. Rosemary becomes so much upset at the remark that she loses no time to dispatch the girl after giving him £3 gifts. She doesn't take a chance to see that her husband should meet the girl again. Seeing such an attitude, it is easy to conclude that against womanly jealousy, Rosemary's sympathy for the poor girl evaporates like vapor. Hence, her sympathy towards the girl is not genuine, not sincere. It is because a few minutes before the lady had doted on her and now she has sent for abruptly. It cannot be show of sympathy. So, Rosemary is well dressed and well off with all the luxury she desires for. Her interest is mainly on reading books, always indulges, and above all, great inspired by the characters and their adventurous lives, which she came across in the stories. Her inspirational interest can be judged from the decision she takes when she interacts with a poor soul called Miss Smith by taking her home with a mere thought of being an adventure for her, recalling the stories of Dostoevsky. Apart from the disposition and insecurity can be sensed in her character. So this was the character of Rosemary Fell. Now the character Philip Fell. Husband of Rosemary is in fact one of the richest person of the society. He loves his wife devotedly and cares for her a lot. He calls Smith pretty much to his wife's chains just to make her send Mrs. Smith away, as she refuses to do so when he asks her in the first place, even though making his wife feel insecure about herself and her beauty. Mrs. Smith, she is lean and thin poor girl of just the age of Rosemary. She can't even afford a single cup of tea and comes to ask Rosemary to pay her the price of a cup of tea. She is an odd person, frightened and confused. She is shocked when Rosemary asks her to have a cup of tea with her at home. In Philip's point of view, Mrs. Smith is attractive and pretty. The shopkeeper. The owner of a very beautiful antique ornament shop, which in fact was one of Rosemary's favorite shops. He would always be looking forward to have Rosemary in his shop and always seeing a lovely piece of art for her, just like he had been saving the eyes catching blue velvet box. This story takes a start in third person narrative with many observable shifts afterwards, establishing a conversational style. The literary quality drives in front the skillful manner in which the author has created a fluid narrative voice. The story is written in the modernist mode without a set structure. Many shifts and changes in the narratives can be observed. The plain and ordinary title of the story has the tendency to gravitate readers towards it. As one can wonder what a title so simple can hold inside it, the charm of the story exceeds the imagination of the reader as one comes across the contents of the story, finely sketched against the plain title of the story. The title of the story is relatable to the story at the point when a girl from the story asks a rich woman to pay her the price of a cup of a tea. So, this is the different characters of the story, a cup of tea, and the style, the narrativeness of the story.